Now you see, Batman needs Robin, and Robin needs Batman. This summer, Juventus found their Batman, Jonathan David, the player that just scored against Atalanta. But who's Robin to Jonathan David? Who's his partner in crime? Who's this player that Jonathan David knows inside and out? And who's this one player that as a duo, they struck fear in the French division? And also, when they came up against Juventus in the Champions League, they worked hand in hand to score a lovely goal. Who's Robin to Jonathan David? Edon Zhegrova. Now word around town is Juventus are on the hunt for a new attacker. A more dynamic attacker. A more entertaining attacker. An attacker full of skills and trickery. An attacker that can score you goals. An attacker that can create you opportunities. An attacker with iconic celebrations. But also an attacker that's financially feasible. And because of that, Juventus have set their eyes on Edon Zhegrova. A free agent. A player full of promise. A player full of talent. A player that will strike fear into Serie A defenders. Juventus versus Marseille. May the best team win. But the one thing that Juventus have, which Marseille don't, is the element of friendship. And sometimes, maybe, just maybe, friendship is what gets a deal over the line. Now we're talking. This is a link I like. Mi piace questa notizia. I like this news. I like this. Now you're talking my language. I know that actually. This is what we're talking about. Edon Zhegrova to Juventus. It's crazy. I don't understand why it's taken, I don't know, for like 2-3 weeks to go of the transfer window for somebody to look at him. Like, he was a free agent. And by the way, like, Lille's president came out, I believe, January, February time, and he said, we're not offering him any more new deals. At the end of this chapter, we will both go our separate ways. I genuinely thought Zhegrova would get snapped up within the first 2 weeks of the transfer window being open. And now, with like 2-3 weeks to go, finally clubs are looking at him. Now, what do we know of this deal? Marseille have agreed personal terms. I feel like Marseille have got an advantage on Juventus. I feel like they're like 60-70% into negotiations. They're beginning to see eye to eye. At the end of the day, the player is familiar with the French league. He's going to a Champions League club. But I feel like Juventus, like, one part of me, like, let's play devil's advocate, okay? One part of me feels like, why didn't Juventus get this deal over the line? And I was even petitioning for Juventus to sign him ahead of Conceição. Anyways, Juventus could have done this deal a month ago. Juventus are only doing this deal. Why? We have to ask ourselves why. We always have to ask ourselves like the questions that don't want to be asked. And I'm here to answer them. Why? I genuinely feel like, one, Juventus were waiting for players to leave. And I feel like finally, I feel like there's some grounds to Nico Gonzalez and Atletico. And you can see now why Juventus are beginning to move forwards. Why Juventus are now planning their next wide player target. And I think they also believe that the Jadon Sancho deal is not as feasible as an Edon Zhegrova, where I've read his wages are nothing ridiculous. He is a free agent. His agent isn't asking for much. And let's be real, he's a player that, in comparison to Sancho, like, there is promise, there is talent. You don't look at him and say, can we fix you? Like, can we fix Edon Zhegrova? No. His last full season at Lille, trust me, I know this guy inside and out. I know all of his numbers by heart. He was ranked second for goals behind Jonathan David. He was ranked second for assists at Lille. He was ranked numero uno for possession one in the opposition half, which means Igor Tudor, if he wants to implement this high press, dynamic football, you've literally got yourself a guy that presses non-stop. He's full of fight. He's full of grind time. Okay, so that's that. He was ranked number one for shots on target. Funnily enough, he actually didn't hit his expected assists. I believe his expected assist was about 9. He only ended up receiving 6. That can mainly be because he's creating an amazing opportunity and the players are not scoring them. So it's not really his fault. It's more the attacker's fault. This dude is a good player. He was also, like, I believe, ranked in the top 3 for successful dribbles, for successful take-ons. Good player. Very good player. I was petitioning him. Get him instead of Conceição. But anyways. What do we know of it? Marseille are 75% through. Juventus are now inquiring. And I genuinely feel like with all due respect to Marseille, I feel like if his agent was to come up to him and say to him, listen, Edon, Juventus want you. Marseille want you. Yes, both teams are playing in the Champions League. But come on, let's not be around the bush. We all know who the bigger club is. Juventus are a bigger club. And I genuinely feel like the fact that Jonathan David is there, like a friend of his, a player that he's worked so well with in the past, Both of them have contributed so much to Lille's success. Like, you know, when I go to Turin, I'm not this new face that doesn't know everybody and now I need these little icebreakers here and there. No, I'm going. I know Jonathan David. I know Batman. And I'm Robin. Okay, need to calm down. Okay, he knows somebody there. So it makes settling into life a bit more easier in comparison to going to Marseille, where you now don't really know anybody. So now you need to start from scratch. It's like, think of it like this. It's like as if you were to get a new job, you'd be more open to going working at a company if your friend worked there, because you know settling in, it's easier. You can hit the ground running. There's somebody that you could spend time with whilst you still get to know everybody else. And that's why I mentioned it at the beginning. Juventus having Jonathan David, one, what allows Zhegrova to come. Two, Juventus having negotiated a deal in the past with Lille, and you could see they see eye to eye. You could see there's a level of respect between the hierarchy at Lille and the hierarchy at Juventus. They've worked with one another. They understand one another. They know how to tick one another's boxes. Let's be real. You'd always want to do business with somebody that you've done business with in the past and it's gone down successfully. You've gotten what you wanted. They've gotten what they wanted. It was all done on good, respectful terms. Because of that, and also the third reason, you have to look at it from a competitive standpoint. Why would Lille want to give him to Marseille, knowing how good he is, a team that they're probably competing with for a Champions League spot in the French division, when they could literally get rid of Zhegrova to a foreign league? They don't have to worry about Juventus unless they come across them in the Champions League, but they don't have to worry about Juventus in Liga 1. That's three reasons why, in my opinion, like I genuinely feel like I'm putting my name on the line, putting my reputation on the line. I actually think this deal gets done. One part of me really feels like this deal gets done, especially if Nico Gonzalez gets done in the next week. Kolo Muani looks like he's coming in. You bring in Zhegrova. Oi, this is a good attack. This is a good attack. God, you've answered my prayers. Like, Conceição will get demoted to the bench. Conceição coming off the bench. Listen, Juventus are probably going to play about 60 games this season, okay? Like, you need Conceição in and out. Zhegrova is not coming to sit on the bench, bro. Zhegrova is coming in to start. Whoo! David. Zhegrova. Kenan. We are talking, bro. We are talking, bro. We are talking. Bro, what's wrong with me? We are talking good football. We are talking dynamism. We are talking goals. We are talking trickery. Now, having said all of that, I have to give you guys some bad news. Now, I do believe, from what I've read online when it comes to Edon Zhegrova, there have been issues in the past when it comes to like his attitude and like his consistency and his lifestyle on the outside. Now, maybe, just maybe, sometimes it takes fresh environment, a different coach, a coach that can probably connect with you on a more personal level. I'll be honest with you guys. I genuinely feel like footballers with age, they mature. They understand what I done at the age of 20 was wrong. I can't do it at 21. Now, what I done at 21, I can't do it anymore at 22. I feel like if he comes to Juventus, he knows I'm coming to a big club. And I'm coming with big expectations and big demands. And I also feel like the fact that he's coming to Juventus knowing, in the back of his head, Conceição can play in his position. Coop Miners can play in his position. Not that he does great, but as in, there's competition. So he knows, I need to perform. I need to be consistent. I need to give 100%. Because if not, Juventus have got their 30 million signing on the bench ready to come on. Even if it's a matter of Conceição stays in the team because he's the person that's been trusted out wide, Edon Zhegrova now has to come in and prove himself. So he knows, I need to outshine Conceição. When I get 10 minutes off the bench, I need to make it feel like 90 minutes. I need to send a statement to Igor Tudor. It's all about having healthy competition. But guys, this dude is a good player. Very, very, very good player. I'd actually love to see him at Juventus. I'm being completely honest with you guys. Like, I feel like if he does come, I might actually start to look at Juventus' attack and be like, it's not weak. Like, it's not one-sided. Because in my opinion, Juventus' attack is mainly the left-hand side. Cambiaso, Kenan, and Kefram Turam. The right-hand side, for me, is just very, very, very weak. It's very erratic. It's, like, not the most technically consistent. You bring him in, now we're talking. And the fact is, he's one of those inverted wingers where he likes to cut inside. You leave the whole right flank for somebody like João Mario to be bombing up and down. This is a good deal. This is a very good deal. And on top of it, he's free. Like, he's not going to cost much. Good deal. Very, very good. It's got Hajj, a seal of approval. Now, if you're new, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. And I'll catch you guys on another one.